So JP ready, the windup, and the 3-2 on the way to Cal. Swinging a well-hit ball deep to left field. Head into the upper deck. Stay fair. Upper deck. Goodbye baseball. Number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Castrovins. Today is Tuesday, August 26th, and on today's show, Cal Raleigh has put himself in the conversation with a great Yankee slugger. Not just Aaron Judge, but Mickey Mantle. Plus, a 37-year-old, 8-time All-Star is having maybe his best season yet, and we might have something resembling a race in the National League East after all. All that and everything else you need to know about baseball today, so let's get to it. As a baseball reporter, it's not unusual for me to put what I think is a relatively harmless opinion out into the social media ether, and then come back a couple hours later and realize I've set off a hornet's nest of rabid fans arguing back and forth with each other. Fun! So it was Monday when I posted on X that, in my opinion, Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh should be the AL MVP favorite right now over Yankees slugger Aaron Judge. Here's my rationale. Judge is, per usual, having an epic offensive season on the whole, but it's one that has been compromised statistically in the second half by him playing hurt with an iffy elbow and being unable to play the outfield. Now, Judge did double, draw a walk, and drive in a run in the Yankees' 10-5 win over the Nationals on Monday. He's no bum, people. But his .195 average with 5 homers since the All-Star break is obviously not very Judge-like. Meanwhile, Raleigh, the reigning Platinum Glove winner in the AL, is having an all-time great offensive season for a catcher, anchoring the lineup and guiding the pitching staff for a contender. And then, in the bottom of the first inning against the Padres on Monday night, Raleigh did what he's done all year.
Another 3-2. Fly ball driven. Way back there, left field, take cover. Number 50, midway up the second deck. History marches on. For the first time ever, a catcher has hit 50 home runs in a season. It has never been done until right now, until Cal Raleigh.
There it is, 50 homers for Cal Raleigh, who got the M started on a night in which they outslugged the Padres 9-6 to pull within a game and a half of the idle Astros in the AL West. So a switch-hitting catcher has 50 home runs. Do you understand how bonkers that is? Do you realize that the only other switch hitter in history with a 50-homer season was Mickey Mantle in 1956 and 1961? And remember, Mickey Mantle was not a catcher. Going into the season, if you gave the 30 teams a choice between a right fielder with an OPS around 1100, who would have to spend roughly 1/3 of his season as a DH because of an injury, or a Gold Glove catcher with a 950 OPS, I think 30 out of 30 would take the catcher, because history tells us it's almost impossible to find this kind of production from that pivotal position. It's hard to believe it's been 15 years since Aroldis Chapman arrived to MLB. In 2009, the lefty reliever successfully defected from the Cuban national team while participating in a tournament in the Netherlands, walking out the front door of the team hotel and into an automobile that sped him off to a new life. He successfully petitioned for MLB free agency and in 2010 signed with the Cincinnati Reds. We had never seen anything like Chapman. He routinely touched triple-digit heat. In fact, in 2015, the year StatCast data became available, he threw not only the fastest pitch of the MLB season, but the 62 fastest pitches of that season. He was a fearsome closer, a routine all-star. But logic and relief history tell us Chapman should be finished by now. Instead, at 37 years old, and with the Boston Red Sox, he's having statistically the greatest season he's ever had. It continued Monday night against the Orioles. The Red Sox took an early lead when their rookie sensation Roman Anthony hit his first career leadoff home run. The O's clawed back to a 3-1 lead, but Jarren Duran's 3-run blast in the fifth put the Sox back up 4-3. And on a night in which Boston, having moved the struggling Walker Buehler to a relief role, was leaning hard on the bullpen, Chapman was entrusted with a 1-run lead in the ninth. As usual, he did not disappoint.
And from Aroldis, here's Vasquez trying to make him the last man to swing tonight for the Birds. Swinging a high pop-up, that should do it. Into left, Duran under. He is there, and the Red Sox take game one 4-3. Aroldis Chapman does it again. Duran with a 3-run blast. Anthony with a solo home run. The Red Sox take the first one in Baltimore.
In his last 10 2/3 innings, Chapman has 8 saves, has allowed 0 hits and 0 earned runs with 4 walks and 11 strikeouts and a 35.9 swing and miss rate. For the season, he now has a 1.06 ERA and a 0.69 walks and hits per inning pitched, both the lowest marks of his 16-season career. More than 800 innings into that career, Chapman again has an argument as the best reliever in baseball. That's hard to believe too. Coming up, the Mets could be thumbing their way back up the NL East standings. That's after the break. There was good news for the Mets before they even took the field to face the Phillies on Monday night in Queens. Catcher Francisco Alvarez took batting practice before the game and will move on to a minor league rehab game Wednesday or Thursday. This is a huge boost of optimism for the Mets, considering how bad Alvarez's situation looked last week when it was discovered he had torn a right thumb ligament and would need surgery at some point. Alvarez is going to play through the issue, and this rehab schedule could have him back with the Mets much sooner than expected. Oh, and then there was a game Monday, and that went pretty well for the Mets too. Though the first-place Phillies took an early 3-0 lead off Kodai Senga, the Mets battled back against NL Cy Young candidate Christopher Sanchez. And with 2 aboard in the 5th, it was Mark Vientos giving the Mets the lead.
Line the other way, a base hit, and the Mets will take the lead. Around third is Soto, he will score. Marte will be held at third. Vientos has his second RBI double of the night, and the Mets go in front for the first time. It's 4-3.
The Mets wound up scoring 6 runs off Sanchez in by far his worst start of the season, and New York clobbered Philly 13-3. The Mets are still 6 games back of the Phils in the East, but they have 6 games remaining against each other, including tonight when Sean Manaea is set to go up against Jesus Luzardo at 7:10 Eastern Time on TBS. Elsewhere in MLB on Monday, Andy Pages had 2 homers and 4 RBI as the Dodgers blasted the visiting Reds 7-0 to regain the NL West edge on the Padres. We talked about Cal Raleigh earlier, but he's not the only catching power threat in MLB. How about Blue Jays catcher Alejandro Kirk, who went deep for the 4th time in his last 8 games in Toronto's 10-4 win over the Twins? Kirk only had 7 homers all season prior to the sudden dinger binge, and he even logged his first career stolen base earlier this month. Marlins righty Edward Cabrera struck out 10 while allowing just 3 base runners in 7 innings of 1-hit ball as the Fish beat the Braves 2-1. Brandon Woodruff ran into trouble after being staked to an early 6-0 lead, but the Brewers were able to hold on and win 7-5 against the D-backs. One-time Cleveland farmhand Junior Caminero went deep twice for the Rays in Cleveland in a 9-0 win. Jacob deGrom was solid, but the Rangers' bats were silent in a 4-0 loss to the Angels, a tough loss for a Texas team on the fringes of the AL wildcard race. Prior to the game, the Angels were visited by manager Ron Washington for the first time since quadruple bypass heart surgery prematurely ended his season 2 months ago. Head to MLB.com for the rest of Monday's news and scores. That's all for the morning lineup today, but I think you're going to like that Mets-Phillies matchup on TBS tonight. You can also see if Clayton Kershaw can continue his awesome August in which he has a 1.90 ERA in 4 starts as the Dodgers host the Reds at 10:10 Eastern Time, 7:10 local. And the MLB.TV free game of the day pits the Padres against Cal Raleigh and those Mariners at 9:40 Eastern Time, 6:40 local. Matt Monaghan will be back in the saddle tomorrow to bring you all the best baseball stories of the day. Until then, thanks for listening. Please be sure to leave us a rating and review, share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life, and have a great Tuesday, everyone.